In a world obsessed with what comes next, have you ever wondered what we lose by forgetting to simply be here, now? Welcome to the Myth of Now, a space where questions matter more than answers, and timeless philosophy meets the rush of modern life. Pause, breathe, and let's think deeply together.
Have you ever stared at your reflection and thought, why am I not okay? Everything looks fine on the outside. You have what you're supposed to have. A job, friends, a future. But beneath it all, there's a quiet ache, like a whisper you can't unhear. Something is missing. You're about to find out why. This isn't depression, it's not boredom, it's existential drift. A subtle, creeping disconnection from meaning, self, and purpose. And if you feel it, you're not alone. In fact, you might be one of the few people awake enough to notice it. We live in the noisiest time in human history, but the real silence, the one we never talk about, is the silence inside. The empty hum between doing and feeling, between what life looks like and what it actually means. This is the crisis of the modern soul. And the scariest part? Most people will never realize it's happening to them. Years ago, the German philosopher Dietrich Bonhoeffer warned of a strange sickness in modern life. He called it the cheap grace of existence, when we trade real transformation for the illusion of progress. We chase comfort, success, validation, but forget to ask why any of it matters. We scroll, we chase, we consume, but we rarely stop. We rarely sit in the stillness long enough to confront the question, what am I becoming? You might feel like you're doing everything right, but deep down, you're haunted by the feeling that you're drifting, like a passenger in your own life. This is not your fault. You've been trained to feel this way. From a young age, you were taught how to perform, not how to be. How to chase goals, not how to question them. How to appear successful, not how to feel whole. And somewhere along the line, your inner voice, the one that whispered with curiosity and wonder, got drowned out. Nietzsche once wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." But what if no one ever helped you find that why? What if instead you were handed a script and told to follow it? Go to school, get a job, be productive, don't rock the boat. What if the script wasn't written for a meaningful life, but for a manageable one? This is the tragedy of modern living. We are well adjusted to a deeply unhealthy world. Plato believed the soul has three parts: the rational, the spirited, and the appetitive. In harmony, these parts create a just soul, a whole human. But today, the appetitive side, our cravings, distractions, and impulses, have been weaponized against us. Endless content, instant gratification, emotional noise. And the rational part? It's busy just trying to keep up, drowning in deadlines, dopamine, and digital noise. Your inner world has become a battleground, not for truth, but for attention. We're constantly told, you'll be happy when you get that job, when you find the right partner, when you finally make enough money. But here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no when. Because the goalpost always moves, and by the time you reach it, the part of you that once wanted it is already gone. You've evolved, but your dreams haven't. We often mistake longing for direction, but not all longing leads us somewhere meaningful. Sometimes it just keeps us running in circles, chasing shadows of ourselves. Carl Jung once said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." And yet, this is where the transformation begins, not in the perfect life, but in the confrontation with the unlived life. The part of you that wanted to create, to question, to wander, to be real. The part you buried to survive. Look at the world you've built. How much of it was chosen freely, and how much was inherited, copied, or feared into existence? These are the questions that awaken us. They are dangerous, and they are sacred. Philosophy was never meant to be an abstract game. It was a toolkit for how to suffer better, how to face reality without flinching. The Stoics believed that discomfort, when chosen, is the doorway to liberation. And Machiavelli? He saw the world not as we wish it to be, but as it actually is. You must look at your life the same way, not through the lens of fantasy, but with fearless honesty. What do you cling to? What are you avoiding? What would you do if you weren't afraid of wasting your potential? Growth begins where comfort ends. And the life you long for is likely hidden behind the very thing you're avoiding. Maybe the measure of a good life isn't what you achieve, but what you understand. Not how many people follow you, but how deeply you follow your own truth. The most dangerous thing in life is not failure. It's success without self-knowledge. Because when you don't know yourself, you become easy to control by society, by fear, by algorithms. Plato warned that people living in the cave would fight to the death to protect the shadows on the wall. The modern cave isn't made of stone. It's built from screens, schedules, and shallow ambition. But the light is still there, flickering behind the noise, waiting for you to turn around. Here's a thought that might haunt you, or it might set you free. You already know what matters. You've just been trained to forget. You've glimpsed it in moments, in silence, in heartbreak, in awe, in stillness. It's the part of you that doesn't need to become anything. It just is. Call it soul. Call it truth. Call it awareness. But it's always been there, underneath the masks, behind the performance, beyond the noise. Your job is not to create yourself. It's to remember yourself. And that's the hardest, most beautiful work you'll ever do. So, if you're still watching this, maybe it means you're ready. Not for a new identity, not for another goal, but for a homecoming. To stop running, to stop performing, to stop asking the world for permission to be whole, and instead to turn inward and ask the only question that has ever truly mattered. Who am I when no one is watching? That answer may terrify you, but it may also save you, because you are not lost. You are just on your way back.
Thank you for watching today's episode. If you found these ideas thought-provoking, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this one. And we'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let us know. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.